Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Vasila Built for Speed. Let's get straight to the point. I'm working on 2008 Scion XD. Scion XD is all gonna be the same. Scion XD, not B. D is in David. This is 2008, and today I'm gonna do an alternator. So what happened was I was driving, the battery light came on, and then a bunch of other lights started coming on. I lost power steering. And then, well, first I think I noticed a noise. It was like a really whining noise. I was like, what is that? At first, I thought maybe AC compressor. But then after battery light came on, and then a bunch of other lights, and then the car died when I got home. Thankfully, I got home. But so that kind of told me it's a bad alternator. The battery was recently replaced, so it couldn't have been the battery, especially when you hear whining noise and then all of a sudden these things start happening. It's most likely your alternator. So today I'm going to show you guys how to replace it. I'm going to turn this light on. So the alternator is right here. First thing you want to do, I disconnected both of the battery cables. You usually want to disconnect just the plus. I'm going to charge the battery while I'm replacing this. They're probably going to charge you for the core, so you might want to remove your alternator first so you don't end up paying the core. But it's just two screws, one down there, I believe that's a 14. I'll find that out, I'll let you guys know. And then this one here, the tensioner screw, and then this one here, this is a tensioner screw, and then this is the one that holds the bracket pretty much. But I think you can remove one right here off the tensioner itself, so you don't have to remove this bracket. If you don't want to, you can just remove this screw here underneath the tensioner screw, and then that one down there. That's it. Now this one will, well, first you want to loosen it to get the belt loose, obviously. So loosen this screw and this one, and then that will allow you to take the belt off. And then after that you can completely remove that screw down there, right there, and then the one down there. Okay, so first things first, I grabbed the 12mm socket. This is a 6-point, because the bolts are 6-point. You want to use that to not strip the head of the screws if you don't want to do that. And then so I loosened that one right there. It's a 12, and then I loosened this one. As you guys can see, now I can release the tension of the alternator. So you can move the alternator back. You can grab a little pry bar, but I pretty much just moved it a little bit that way. So to loosen the belt, once the belt, I have enough enough slack in the alternator, I will remove the belt. Okay, so what I ended up doing is just taking this side screw out from here, and then after you do that, you pretty much have this play with this screw here. Well, if you loosen that screw, you can lift the bracket, and you can see I'm moving the alternator already. I already moved it far enough where I can just move the belt out of the way. I'm just gonna leave the belt right there so it doesn't, well, if it kind of goes away, I'll reach it back out and then find the routing on Google and then route it if I don't remember. But it should be pretty simple. It's not too many of those. So yeah, I already got this loose. Now I'm gonna untie the wires. There's a plug right there that you just squeeze from a side. I'll show you right here from the right side. You just squeeze it, remove it, and then right there you remove this cover, the gray cover. It's a 10mm nut. You remove that, and that allows you to remove the wire from the alternator. And then we'll be undoing that screw. I loosened it already, the bottom screw underneath there. Let me see if I can see it right there. You can probably see it down there. So yeah, we're gonna remove that one afterwards. So the tools I'm using, you can see my ratchet, it bends. It's a tilting ratchet. I will include the tools. The bottom one is a 14mm the socket, and I'm using this ratchet. And if you can put it right, if you can see how I'm holding it right there in front of it, it makes it much easier to work. So the top ones are pretty easy, you don't need any special tools, but with this one it'd be better if you have a tilting ratchet like this one. Okay, so on this bracket bolt, you're gonna have to loosen it pretty much all the way, so you can tilt the bracket all the way to the right, so you can hold it, and then you'll be able to get the alternator out. You don't have to get this bracket all the way out, and I don't think you can without breaking anything. So just untie this bolt, loosen it all the way until it's pretty much off, so you can tilt it like this, and then just move it aside, and the alternator just came right out through here. So now I'm ready to go to the store, pick up a new one, give them this one so I don't have to pay the core charge going back and forth to the store. And yeah, we'll come back. This is the bottom bolt. You're gonna have to unscrew it all the way until it comes out. I pushed it past that bracket down there, just kind of tilted it a little bit and pushed it past the bracket. So these are the only two bolts that hold it. And then the wires is just that connector there that I showed you guys, and then this, then the one that was on the alternator, this one here. So connector and this, that's it. So just like I said, disconnect battery, and then loosen the tensioner, take the belt off, and then yeah, just work it out. So pretty easy job. I would, you know, maybe level 1-2 mechanic can do it. You don't have to be any major, you don't have to have major experience on anything. If you have some common sense, you should be able to do this job. All right, as you guys can see, I got a new one. Feels really nice. Feels really tight, nice and tight. This is Denso, one of the best ones you can get. You can probably get one for a little bit less than half the price of this one, but like you can see, I had to change it. And as far as I know, the person who I bought this car from changed it about a year and a half ago. So here I am changing it again. So might as well just get that and then forget about it for the next 10 years or so, and hopefully lifetime for the rest of this vehicle's life. So now we're gonna put it back in. So I'm probably gonna insert that alternator in there first. I'm gonna lift this up like this, insert it into there, and then try to start this bottom bolt. That's gonna be my priority. Once I do that, I kind of start bringing it in, and then I'll worry about the top part. Okay, so the way I put this one in, with the pretty much with the plastic facing up, and then when I put it in, I kind of twisted it. Now just obviously you gotta move this thing aside, but yeah, and then now from now is just positioning it pretty much into there, in between the two brackets. Position that and just inserting it in there, and then putting the bolt in there. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so I got the bracket, because I took the bracket that holds the wiring to the alternator. I took the bracket off, so now I'm gonna slide the connector, or not the connector, the little thing that sits on the bracket that holds the wires together. I don't know, what do you want to call that, clip or whatever, that's on the wires. And then I put the 10mm wire here, plug the connector in there, and then yeah, tighten the belt where it's pretty tight, like got a little bit of movement, but you want to put it tight because it will squeak. So I tightened the belt with this. I tightened this bolt here, and now I'm going to tighten that one. I tightened the bottom one. I just kind of get it snug. I have a feel for it. If you guys want to know the exact specs, you can comment underneath the video in the comments below, and I'll answer the torque specs. If you want to know the torque specs, I can get them for you. Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, I just got it snug, tight, to where I feel like it's, over the years I kind of learned the tightness of each bolt and stuff. So yeah, it's all on now, everything's hooked up. I just need to tighten that one there. I'm gonna go get a wrench. Actually, I have a wrench here, so yeah, I'm just gonna tighten that right now. This is a 13, so I need 12 to tighten that one. So yeah, it's pretty much all together now. I'm gonna decharge the battery. So I'm gonna put everything, all the cables back, and yeah, we're done. It's a pretty simple job. It goes from the alternator over the pulley, and then over the AC compressor, and over the crank pulley. So crank pulley to the alternator, to the idler pulley, to the AC compressor. You guys can look up the routing of this engine, the serpentine belt routing online. I'm sure there's gonna be an easy one. First I thought I was tripping because the belt would not go. I'd have to lean the alternator all the way back to put the belt on, but I was routing the belt wrong over the idler pulley. That's why I was doing that. So I kind of I thought maybe the design of the alternator was bad or something, but it was just me routing the belt wrong. So make sure you guys route the, if something doesn't seem to line up or you can't put the belt on, that's because you got it routed wrong. If you put the alternator all the way back and the belt doesn't go on easily, you routed the belt wrong. So it's just a little tip for you guys. So yeah, now I'm gonna finish everything up and I'll show you guys afterwards after we're done. Okay, as you guys can see, got the cables on, got everything tight here, everything on, the 10mm battery cable, the plug, the alternator cable, the plug in, the belt's tight, so everything's good. I'm gonna check the tire pressure. I like to do a basic checkup on the car, check the tire pressure, raise the vehicle up, and then check underneath, see how it looks, and we're ready to go. This daily is good to go for another hopefully 5 to 10 years. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give us this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.